Alright, so Claude just made its computer use feature to be generally available, and computer use is essentially just another way for AI to do something on your behalf. So in computer use, AI is able to navigate on your computer screen. It can click on some links, buttons, or menus. It can also use your keyboard, like typing some messages, prompts, or even a command line. And of course, it can be used to launch some apps, just like the way you would control or use your computer. And perhaps that's why it is called Claude Computer Use. Now, this technology is not exactly new. We have seen many implementation of this screenshot-based AI agent control in various platforms. For example, we have a similar feature in the Comet browser, and also about a year ago I have made some videos about an AI tool called Convergence AI. Now it is no longer available, but at that time this tool is able to create a sort of virtual browser, and it can use AI to control or navigate around the page that is being opened by the AI agent. It is quite fascinating, and there are some use cases where it could be very useful. Now, despite its technology, despite how it might be advertised as something that could make your life easier and more productive, there are a few things and risks that you need to know before you start using this feature. And don't worry, I'm going to show how you can activate Claude Computer Use later. But for now, here are a few things that you need to know. So first, even if you enable computer use on Claude, it's not going to be the first tool that Claude will use. It would try to use connectors first, or maybe if there is no connector, then it will try to use the browser extension. And by the way, there is actually a Chrome extension for Claude, and it is actually a tool that Claude Computer Use can utilize to access certain pages or finish certain tasks. But if those are not available, then Claude will start utilizing its computer use capabilities. So it is called screen interaction. It can again click on something, scroll some pages, launch an app, and again it is very similar when someone is using your computer. Now, there are some risks of this technology. So first of all, Claude is trained to not do these things like engaging in the stock trading or investment. It won't try to inputting some sensitive information, and also it is trained to not scrape some facial images. And also there are some recommendations about the things that you should avoid or try not to use Claude Computer Use when doing these things, like managing financial accounts, handling legal documents or contracts, processing medical or health information, and of course interacting with apps that might contain some personal information of others. So if you are working on any of these things, then maybe Claude Computer Use is not the best idea. But anyway, if you want to use this tool, you can launch the desktop version of Claude. And if you don't have the desktop version, then you can navigate to Claude.ai on your desktop computer, and then you can click the download button and then download and install the desktop version of Claude, and you can log in with your Claude account. So after that, you can launch the program. And here in the Claude desktop, you can navigate to a section called Cowork. So Claude Computer Use is available under Claude Cowork and Claude Code, but in this video, I'll just focus on the usage in the Cowork version. Now, here you can click your profile and then go to settings, and under desktop app you can click general, and right here you can enable computer use. So I'm going to enable this feature, and here are a few things that you need to keep in mind when you are using Claude Computer Use. And these points are basically the things that I believe I have mentioned earlier, or maybe this one. This is very important. Websites and documents could contain malicious instructions that misdirect Claude. So this is basically a prompt injection attack, and this is something that AI agents are very vulnerable about. So if you are dealing with a document or a website that could be interpreted as an action or instruction by the AI agent, then please not use Claude Computer Use. It will actually quite damaging. Let's say if there is an there is a website page that has an instruction to refill your password or refill your API keys, then Claude could fall victim to that. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But anyway, if you're okay with the risk when using Computer Use, then you can turn on the feature. And now I'm going to go back to the main screen. And there you go. Now we can start telling AI about what it needs to use or it needs to do. So you can use your natural language to describe the task, or maybe you can use this format when it comes to telling the AI agent to do something. This is the format that I do prefer, but again, you can use any other format. So here at the beginning, I want to tell Claude that it has control on my device via a computer use, and the goal is here, and then here are the step-by-step process that it can take to finish the task, and then I can list the step-by-step process. And honestly, this format is just easy to look at. And also there is a failure fallback, so if there is an error, then AI perhaps can try again, but if the error persists, then just terminate the task, and maybe I have to inspect what was going on and try to use a different methods or steps to actually perform the task. So this is the format that I'll use, and this is the instruction that I'm going to send to Claude. I'm going to copy this. It's actually not a very complicated task. I just want AI to launch this video game via Steam. Now let's send that message, and I'm going to click this and just wait for Claude to initialize its computer use. Now again, even though we have enabled computer use, Claude will instinctively try to do something or try to look if there is another way or a better way, a cheaper, faster, and more reliable way to do certain step or task. So as you can see, even though I asked Claude to open the start menu and launch this app, the Steam launcher, it actually doesn't try that. It actually just discovered that, hey, this program can be launched via command line. So I guess that's totally fine. But again, bear in mind that AI will try to find a more reliable way to do something before resorting to the task or the steps that you have specified Claude to do. And there you go. Now it just opens Steam, and let's see if it can navigate to the library menu. Okay, now it just closed Steam again for some reason. Okay, now Steam is running in the background. Let me switch back to the primary monitor and check the system tray. Okay, it's taking a screenshot. Okay, now I'm not doing anything, by the way. Okay, so Claude wants to use File Explorer. Why though? Your other windows will be hidden, then restored when Claude is done. Okay, I guess I'm going to allow for this session. Now, one thing that I don't like when using Claude Computer Use is that at the same time, you cannot use your computer because someone else or something else is using your computer. So that's why in the documentation from Claude, they actually recommend to use a virtual machine or virtual box to run Claude with computer use, and therefore you should be able to still utilize or use your computer normally without being affected by this feature. Now, when Claude is using your computer, it will show a sort of glowing overlay, orange overlay around the edges of the screen. I think it's not very noticeable from my view, but it is actually right there. And let me check it again. So there is another permission request. Yeah, those things are going to be a common theme when you are using computer use. I think Claude is very careful. It tried to not accidentally do something that wasn't intended to do, but it is not perfect. Again, even the company behind Claude is recommending people to only use computer use for something that is not overly sensitive and something that is not complicated, because AI can still make mistakes. And by the way, I'm not touching my computer whatsoever. So AI is just controlling my computer without me doing anything. And there you go. Now it just launched the video game, and I think it should finish any second now. All right. It is taking screenshot again. Okay, so there you go. It just stopped, and yep, the video game has been launched. Now I just told it to just stop after it launched, so it doesn't have to actually launch and play the video game. But yeah, that's just one example of how Claude Computer Use could benefit you. It could do something on the behalf, and maybe depending on your workflow, depending on the task that you're working on, then maybe there are some areas that Claude Computer Use could help. So I hope you learned something from this video, and if you want to see other cool things that you can do with AI, then you can check out this video, and I'll see you there.